Hey, how's it going everybody? I'm back here again for a new movie review, and the movie I'm going to be reviewing was sent to me from Midnight Releasings, and the film is President's Day. And this movie is a really fun, over-the-top horror comedy. Basically, it's about this group of teenagers, and it's essentially the same old story of a group of teenagers are going out to the woods to this cabin just to, party. And each character is essentially just this, it's a typical character you see in all these movies. You got the good girl, you got sort of the party guy. You got this one guy who, he's basically dressed up as like a James Dean type character. He's kind of the cool guy. Then you got the Dipsy, a sort of dumb, hot chick. You got sort of the goth-looking type girl. And then you got the nerd character who the party guy is basically just sort of making him do his history project, or history essay, I should say, during the weekend. And basically what this movie is basically a spoof or a parody in a way of basically all the type of movies of, these teenagers going out into the woods and getting knocked off one by one. Only in this one, they're getting knocked off by presidents who have risen from the grave because they're upset and they're mad that these teenagers are not, they're basically using President's Day as an excuse to go out and get drunk and party and things like that. And they're getting tired of these teenagers sort of tarnishing the great their history. Essentially, they're making fun of their history and just using President's Day as an excuse to party. As I said. The movie, from the point the movie begins, you can already tell this is going to be just this fun, sort of over-the-top movie. In the opening scene, you see a character. The opening scene takes place years and years before, and you see this character trying to write down, write on this paper, and these people are trying to get into his room. And so what he does is he takes a gun out, and you assume that he shoots himself, but he ends up shooting himself in the ear. And, he's sitting there holding his ear like, oh, man, why did I do that? So from the point the movie begins, you can already tell it's going to be this sort of over-the-top and goofy movie. Now, each character, like I said, is like a stereotypical character you see in these movies, but they're over-exaggerated and they're done in a comedic way. Like, for instance, the party guy, he's like, yeah, dude, we're going to go out, we're going to have some fun, man, and he's just over-the-top. And he's really, really dumb, and he brings along his sister, who, like I said, is like sort of the goth character, and she's all like, I have darkness inside of me, and I think something bad's about to happen. And there's even a character who is he's the essentially the token black character, and that's what he's supposed to be. They make jokes about him being the token black character. As the movie goes on, they start referencing this movie as a horror film, and when the presidents start coming back, they start saying things like, well, you're probably going to end up dying because you're the token black character. And of course he gets angry with that. And when the presidents are trying to break in to get to the teenagers, they're all like, well, take out your gun, use your gun. And of course he's like, I don't have a gun. You guys are so racist. He ends up having a gun in a way. So you can tell like that they're making fun of the stereotypical characters you see in these movies. Even the cool guy who, as I said before, sort of dresses up like James Dean. He even says later on in the film that he got his character from, James Dean. He just wanted to start acting like that as sort of like a defense mechanism, when in reality he's kind of a wimp. And like I said, as the movie goes on, they all start getting knocked off by these presidents. At one point in the film, they're at a toll booth, and of course there's the typical, creepy type guy that comes out saying, you guys are all doomed. You guys, should pay respect to the presidents, or President's Day, or something bad's gonna happen. And he ends up throwing a book into the back of their car. And that book is something that's going to help them later on. But yeah, guys, I had a lot of fun with this movie. I thought it was really good over the top. The gore effects were pretty good. There was some pretty cool killing scenes. And like I said, each character in the film is just really over the top and really fun. And there's always the sort of stereotypical ones of like, oh, well, she's the Dipsy hot girl, so she's obviously gonna die. Or oh, he's the he's a guy who acts all badass, but in reality he's a little wimp. The typical, and they make fun of it throughout the entire movie, and that's what I enjoyed about the movie. It's just an over-the-top, just a fun horror comedy, and I really did enjoy it. It was a lot of fun. So if you're into those type of just over-the-top films making fun of themselves, and they continue to reference the fact that it's almost as if they are in a horror film, and they continue to reference that throughout the entire movie. There's even a point where the presidents talk and they make jokes throughout them. They rat on each other and stuff like that. At one point, William Taft, I believe his name is, he gets stuck in the tub because he can't move his legs, so he gets stuck in the tub. And the party guy, the type of guy who's like, yeah, dude, he's like, man, you're stuck in the tub, you're not going to do anything. And, it's kind of funny what happens to him. He kind of falls in love with the guy that the nerdy guy with the glasses and his inhaler. He brings him along to, force him to do his history project during the weekend, and he sort of falls in love with him. It's just a lot of over the top, goofy, fun stuff. If this movie sounds interesting to you guys, I'll leave a link down below to the trailer, and I'll leave a link down below to where you can purchase the movie. You can get it on DVD. You can also download it at certain sites. And like I said, it's just a really fun, really fun film, and I really did enjoy it. And I'm really glad that Brain Damage Films and Midnight Releasings sent me a screener for this film, because I had a lot of fun with it. So yeah, if this sounds interesting to you guys, I definitely recommend it. This is the second film that I've watched from Midnight Releasings who have sent me screeners. They've sent me several screeners, and at this point I haven't had a whole lot of time to do reviews for them because I've been working a lot, and as you guys know, my mom and her boyfriend are moving in, so I'm just preparing for that. So I haven't had a lot of time to do reviews for films and sit down and watch movies. So I'm really glad I was able to take the time out of my day and check out this movie, because I had a lot of fun with it. So if the movie sounds interesting to you guys, like I said, I'll leave a link down below to the trailer and down below to where you can purchase the film. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. Thanks to all of you guys for subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video.